plaintiff, Douglas Cole, says the defendant is his niece, and he helped raise her. Douglas claims the defendant was spoiled growing up, and now she likes the finer things in life. And he's suing her today for an unpaid electric bill. Defendant Amber Hood says Douglas should be less concerned with her and more concerned with his drug-addicted son, who was with Douglas in court. Amber claims Douglas enables his son's addiction, and instead of fighting over an electric bill, they should be trying to get him some help.
Start with you.
Sir, I have tried to be a good nephew to Amber. She was a little girl.
You're the nephew or the uncle?
I am the uncle.
Okay, you say you're trying to be a good nephew.
Well, or a good niece, I'm sorry.
You're trying to be a good niece.
No, uncle, I'm sorry.
What you trying to be?
Trying to be a good uncle.
Okay.
Yes. Amber was a little girl. She was raised with me, and I kind of come up through her life. I was more
From
like
what age?
She was young, her entire life.
5, 7?
Young, baby.
Young, real young, like year.
Until what age?
She was 8 to now. I mean, she moved out on her own about 18, 19 years old. And she's a wonderful girl. She works hard. She's a hardworking young lady. She gets up early in the morning, delivers mail, and she goes and works at another restaurant and works diligently. She works very hard. Amber likes the better qualities of life. She likes her hair done and that kind of thing.
That's basic qualities of life.
Well, she pays like a lot of money for the hairdos.
Okay.
This is box color,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah. She pays a lot of money for her hairdo.
How do you know?
Right.
Well, I mean, I've been around her entire life. I know she.
You sit up at the hair salon?
No. My mom's a beauty operator.
Okay,
back
there
in the
you
day,
go.
So I kind of, know what
If
they
your mom was in the business, that's
was
how
in the
you know.
business, yes. And Amber, has had nails, and my mother was very good to Amber. Amber was spoiled by all of us. We all loved her,
Good.
obviously,
Was she a good child?
She was a good kid, very good kid. Very good kid. I have no complaints.
No drugs?
No drugs. She's got 3 kids, but she's a very good mother to them. She kind of overspends on her kids, to be honest with you. But she is a very good mother. I don't really have no complaints.
Sounds like you're saying she's ghetto fabulous and won't even pay her electric bill.
Kind of, Judge.
$200 haircuts, spend everything on the kids. What else you say? Nails laid to the bone and sitting in the dark.
Right. Kind of
Yeah, people like that.
Oh, yeah.
Ghetto fabulous. I mean, they got the bags, the Chanel bags, the red bottoms. Go home and it's cold and dark.
Oh, yeah. I have tried to be a good nephew to Amber. She was
my
a
uncle.
little
You're the
girl.
nephew or the uncle?
I am the uncle.
Okay, you say you're trying to be a good nephew.
Well, or a good niece, I'm sorry.
You're trying to be a good niece.
No, uncle, I'm sorry.
What you trying to be?
Trying to be a good uncle.
Okay.
Defendant Amber Hood says the plaintiff is her uncle, and she claims he enables his son's drug addiction.
Let me hear from you, young lady.
Okay, so my only issue is my family has, a lot of them have a drug addiction. A lot. From pills to harder drugs. And my uncle is worried about how I live and that I get my nails done and I box color my hair for some reason. But the end story should be how we're gonna get his son some help. His son who just held a gun to my 11-year-old son's face less than a month ago. So the end story is how I'm living is not even an issue because my uncle enables his son to do drugs. I work 16 hours a day to buy my kids tennis shoes, not a bag of dope.
How was it growing up in the household with him, though? It was all right?
Which one, Uncle Doug or Dustin?
The uncle.
The uncle.
I guess
Doug?
the cousin was there as well.
Yeah.
So how was that?
We were always really close.
Okay.
Our whole childhood, we were really close. My uncle's wife had passed in a car accident. Dustin was maybe 9 or something.
Okay.
After that, things kind of fell apart. And Uncle Doug and I aren't close at all. At one point, I wanted him to walk me down the aisle in my wedding, okay? We don't even speak.
Why?
I will go to my grandma's house and
You
we
said
don't
that
even
you all
speak.
had a fine relationship.
As a child, it was good.
When did it go wrong? When did
After
it go
Aunt
bad?
Tammy passed away. He lost control of his son. He lost himself. That was the love of his life. He lost himself. He got into drugs a little bit. He got himself clean. But in the meantime, he lost his son, and his son got lost to drugs. That was my best friend sitting in that chair right there. I don't even know that kid anymore.
How soon after the death did he become
It took him a while.
drug addicted?
He smoked weed when he was young. The bigger addictions came when we were older. It started with his attitude was bad. He did bad in school. Our whole family kind of fell apart after that.
I was gonna say it's more the whole family
Yeah.
fell apart. And it wasn't because of Tammy. It was because the whole family just didn't care anymore. I hate to say that.
Why did they stop caring?
I don't know, Judge.
We lost our grandfather shortly after that, too.
I mean, it was kind of a overwhelming time in our lives.
And you don't attach it to those deaths?
I don't. I try not to, Judge.
I know, but realistically, don't you think that the problems, your family breaking apart at the exact time that your wife and father died, you don't think they have something to do with each other?
Well, it's been so long. I mean, all this didn't happen the time that they died. This happened later on down years. It wasn't that point of the death.
Okay, so the family didn't break down after her death.
Yeah, it was years, few years down the road before the family started breaking apart.
And what type of destructive?
Dustin was really hurt. Dustin's been, he took his mom's death very, very traumatically.
A 9-year-old, of course.
Yeah, and his mom was from Alaska, so his mom went to Alaska and he was left here with me, and I don't think he had the same relationship as his brother did with his mother, and Dustin reacted a lot differently with that than...
Did you get him counseling, or did you know to do that?
We tried to get Dustin counseling, and Amber is the one that fought me the whole time that Dustin... I was trying to get him counseling with her and her boyfriend, fought me the whole way. I actually had to...
Saying what?
She just let him run away to go to her house.
You didn't want him to go to counseling?
It was...
I raised this child.
I understand that.
Okay,
You
of
stopped
course
him from going
I
to
still
counseling?
want him to go to counseling.
Oh,
right
so
now,
he's not
today.
telling the truth?
No, I never even knew that he even attempted to go to
when
counseling.
he was going to counseling, Amber, and she was telling him to run away to her house and get away from it, and I couldn't get him.
Did you tell her, I want to put him in counseling?
Judge, she wouldn't listen to me at that point.
Did you tell her that?
I tried. I couldn't.
How did you try? Tell me how that went. Tell me how it went to say, I want my son to go to counseling. And she says, no,
Judge,
Uncle, I don't want him to. And in fact, I'm going to help him run away to keep from going to counseling.
I tried to call her several times when he ran away. I finally had to have him go to the courthouse.
All right, that's enough, sir. You're right. The love and concern that you show today for your cousin, I thought it would be very odd that you would, when he needed help, reject the help and advise his father not to get him help, and beyond that, even facilitate him not getting the help. And so I'm not going to allow him to put that on you and put that on your heart. And so, sir, sounds like you need some counseling now, because it sounds like you're in denial of reality. That's what it sounds like to me. And maybe it's from the trauma you suffered, but you're not being honest today, and you're in denial about what happened. So I think you might need a little counseling, sir, to deal with those issues. And I understand that. Sounds like you're in denial of reality. That's what it sounds like to me. And maybe it's from the trauma you suffered, but you're not being honest today, and you're in denial about what happened. So I think you might need a little counseling, sir, to deal with those issues. And I understand that.
Defendant Amber Hood says the plaintiff is her uncle, and she claims he enables his son's drug addiction.
What are you suing her for?
I'm suing her for an electric bill. She called me and asked me to put electric in my name, and she neglected to pay the bill.
When was that? When did you put it in your name?
It was in 2018, sir.
18?
Yes, sir.
All right, and you have the bill with you?
Yes, sir.
And she never paid anything?
Well, she paid on the bill, but that was the balance of the bill.
Okay. Ma'am, what do you say to this?
The consumer's bill was where you pay a certain amount a month, and then when you move out or you stop the lease or whatever's owed or whatever they owe you, it'll either be a credit or you have to pay. So that's what that is. We overused, it's for a year. We overused the consumers by that amount. So that would have been the last bill that was due for the consumer's bill.
Okay, you were the only one to live there and use it, right?
Dustin actually had stayed with me in that house several times, on and off, when I lived in that house and never paid a dime. So no, I wasn't the only one that used that electric.
But you never required him to pay? Was that a condition of him staying there?
I sure didn't.
Yeah, well, you were being a nice cousin, as we know that you are.
Got it.
As such, I'm gonna have to grant the judgment, $1,047. You had exclusive use of it. Have a good day, sir. Do you want us to help your son with counseling? And young man, do you want counseling and treatment?
Yes, please.
All right, good.
Thank
Our staff is gonna help you. We're gonna help you. Have a good day.
Well, I just hope
help, okay?
I just hope he gets the help he needs, I guess.
You need it.
Wrong
I
denial,
swear
I
to God,
guess.
you need it. Love you too.
I love you, Cody.
Love you too.
I'm sorry.
I'm glad he's gonna get some help though.
Me too.